Anime isn't remembered only because of great characters or beautiful animation. It's remembered because of arcs, the stories that changed everything, the arcs that made us scream at our screens, question our morals, and feel emotions we weren't ready for. The arcs that turned great series into timeless legends. Today we are diving into the most legendary arcs in anime history, the stories that didn't just entertain us, they defined generations. Before we begin, let me break down the criteria in which these arcs will be judged, the build up, the themes, and the payoff. So without any further delay, let's begin the video. Let's start with a modern day masterpiece, the Shibuya incident from Jujutsu Kaisen. Before this arc, the villains never felt like a true threat. Why? Because Gojo Satoru could simply show up and erase them. This made the stakes feel low, but the moment Gojo is sealed, the safety net is ripped away. We finally witnessed the true horror of this universe, highlighted by stunning animation and the terrifying power of curses like Jogo. For build up, I would rate it 7 out of 10. For the themes of horror and action, I would rate it 10 out of 10. And for the payoff, I would rate it 9 out of 10. And on total, it's 8.5 out of 10 arc, which is pretty damn good. Of course, it would be a crime to not put any slobby up here on the list. It got one of the most iconic anime transformation gear too. And of course, we got some of the saddest moments of the whole anime here, like the cremation of Going Merry and Robin's past, followed by some of the most generational beatdowns such as Luffy vs. Bluno and Luffy vs. Lucci. I personally enjoyed the fight between Sanji and Jabra too. For the build up of this arc, I would rate it 8 out of 10. The real good thing about this arc's build up is we see internal conflicts among Straw Hats, the crew being shed apart because of the fact that Nico, Robin, and Usopp are leaving the crew for their own reasons. But the only thing that takes 2 points away from the build up is that we really don't get into much what CP9 particularly is or the true motives behind Robin or CP9's action. Maybe if we got to know about Robin's past before the arc started, I would give the build a 10 out of 10. But besides, the theme of this arc, such as corruption, action, emotion, adventure, and friendship, I would give it a solid 10 out of 10. The payoff too was incredible. You could literally feel revenge for Robin when Luffy throws a fuck ton of punches at Lucci. 10 out of 10 payoff straight up. And on total, this arc is something about 9.3 out of 10. It's simply the best One Piece arc yet. Well, it's been almost 35 years since Frieza arc made its debut on media. Yet only thing that's 35 years old in it is its animation, which too is improved in Dragon Ball Z Kai. The thing that feels so fresh in this arc is how it makes the audience interested at the show without any flashy animation or epic fight scene, but by rat and mouse chase of Dragon Balls, which is one of the most entertaining things about this arc. The build up of this arc is straight up 9 out of 10. It starts simple when Bulma, Gohan, and Krillin arrive at planet Namek to use Namekian Dragon Balls to revive the people they lost during the events of Saiyan Saga. But soon they discover this bloodthirsty and racist dude Frieza is already making a havoc there. And we also discover the fact that it was not any comet but was Frieza who destroyed planet Vegeta and also killing a fuck ton of Namekians. And since then, we already wanted Goku to beat Frieza up, and Goku's pull up on Namek was generational. For themes of this arc, such as racism, hard work, and action, I would give it a 9 out of 10. And the payoff of this arc is straight up 10 out of 10. You can't tell me that you didn't feel goosebumps in your childhood when you saw Goku pull up on Namek or when Goku turned Super Saiyan 1. It's overall a 9.3 arc too. But I would raise the ratings of this arc by point 0.1 because we are comparing it from modern day standards. And still, this arc seems dope, and it surely would have been a lot more fascinating when it was released. Plus, it's the most iconic arc here on the list for its popularity. Even people who don't know what anime is would quickly recognize Goku and Frieza if you ask him about it. So, total score for Frieza arc is 9.4 out of 10. Attack on Titan isn't only considered one of the greatest anime, it's considered one of the greatest shows of all time. It's literally compared to the biggest sharks of the seas like Game of Thrones and Breaking Bad. This anime is the peak. And the return to Shiganshina arc is the peak of peak. If you open highest rated TV show episodes of all time, you would see 4 episodes of Attack on Titan on top 10. And out of which 2 are from Return to Shiganshina arc alone. Which solidifies my point that this arc is peak of peak. For the build up, I would rate it 9.5 out of 10. Like since season 1, since we got to know Eren's father handed him the key for basement, there was a layer of mystery surrounding the basement and the knowledge it holds. For its themes, I would rate it 9.5 out of 10. It truly lived up to the themes of mystery, fear, and excitement. Like we were curious from the beginning of the arc to know what's inside Eren's childhood home's basement, and the way Beast Titan murdered the scouts by throwing rocks was insanely horrifying. And when Levi beats the fuck out of Beast Titan, we felt revenge. This arc did justice to the fallen soldiers and their sacrifices, followed by a 10 out of 10 payoff when we got to enter Eren's basement and learned the truth about what lies beyond those walls and who truly is the enemy, and it was mind boggling. So the total rating of this arc is 9.6 out of 10. This is the best arc an anime can deliver. The epitome of what a high energy anime arc should be like. Pain's Assault arc. For build up, it's a 10 out of 10. Since the beginning of series, we saw Naruto as an underdog who always worked hard, but despite that took else. But this is the arc where his years of hard work pays off. We see him get recognized and accepted by the village, which he always wanted to happen. The theme of this arc is 9.5 out of 10, as this arc literally has so much to offer. Like, it literally talks to the audience about cycle of hatred, pain, and war. The only thing that deducts its zero point 0.5 points from its themes points is its animation, which is pretty rough at times. Despite that, its payoff is 10 out of 10. We see Naruto getting accepted by his village and Naruto finally gets stronger. Remember when I said Enies Lobby is the best One Piece arc? It's simply the best One Piece arc yet. Yeah, forget that. I was lying. The greatest One Piece arc is Marineford. The build up for this arc sits at an insane 10 out of 10. We saw Shanks confronting Whitebeard, giving his wise advice to recall Ace as he considers Blackbeard to be a great threat to Ace's life. We see Luffy getting warned by Lola about the burning card of Ace. We saw Luffy nearly lose his crew and saw how actually strong Navy was. Luffy hears about the public execution of Ace and how it's gonna be a war between the government and the strongest man in the world. Luffy even visits the most dreaded prison of the One Piece world to save his brother Ace. For the themes of this arc, I would rate it 10 out of 10. It was action packed and deep hitting. This arc sits at a solid 10 out of 10 for the payoff. Like when Whitebeard pulls up at the Marineford base of Marines and throws his first attack and shakes the arena, the moment truly lived up to the hype. We learn about Ace's past and see a glimpse of Luffy's Conqueror's Haki, and the most interesting thing to follow during the whole timeline was Luffy's perspective. Like this guy first got destroyed by the government. Then his crew almost got annihilated. After that, he lost his brother. He must have felt traumatized. But that trauma was the thing that ultimately made him grow out of the shell. Overall, this arc is a 10 out of 10. Remember when I said the Return to Shiganshina arc is the best arc an anime can deliver? This is the best arc an anime can deliver. Again, forget that. Chimera Ant is the best arc an anime can deliver. No shit. The build up for this arc is 10 out of 10. The main villain of this arc is born within this arc only, which is Meruem. The themes of this arc is again 10 out of 10. I mean, the idea that strongest man Netero, who trained for like 4 years fighting the strongest creature, is so exciting. This arc is also deep and dark. It talks about humanity, racism, and we see the Chimera ants evolve not only in strength but also in character too, which is backed by the fact that Meruem starts being fond of the girl he plays shogi with. To this day, Meruem remains undefeated. He was capable in defeating Netero but got caught off guard by the bomb named Poor Man's Rose. It's like Meruem won the fight but Netero won the war. The scene where that shogi girl and Meruem died with each other was simple yet such a sad scene. The payoff of the arc was 10 out of 10. Like we anticipated the fight between the Chimera Ants and Netero and Xenozoldyck, which was so masterfully pulled off. This arc didn't disappoint one bit. The only complaint I have about this arc is its pacing gets quite messed up because of the narration, but hey, let's overlook them because of how much it excels at other points. If you would ask me what is your favorite anime arc, I would choose Hunter x Hunter any day. This arc is 10 on 10.